Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great day to be a Bulldog, true? Go Dogs! Go Dogs! We have a groundbreaking ceremony here today to celebrate the patrons and citizenry of Okmulgee coming together to support their community, to support their school. You know, last spring, the patrons voted in a $6 million bond issue that's going to renovate and revitalize a lot of great things around here. This band building that we're about to dedicate today, or groundbreak today, is one of the starting points of that. It'll take 11 months to complete, but you will see continuous progress out here. It'll be a great thing to come and watch. At this time, I'm going to ask one of our board members, who is a veteran, to come lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. James, tag, you're it.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands.
Very well deserved. Many of you may not know that fully a quarter of the students in Okmulgee High School belong to the band. That's just outstanding. Next year we will also have the 7th and 8th graders in the building, what we refer to as a new building, which will now be Okmulgee Junior High. And so we have grades 7 through 12 who will be using this building. And they'll be able to walk right across the street and practice in the parking lot, which I think is Mr. Helm's dream come true. We appreciate, number one, you coming out to celebrate this, and secondly, for all of you that voted, this is the sort of thing that bond issues were made for, so thank you.
You see where Kelly Jones McDonald is standing right there. Just a little bit back behind her will be the front end of the building, where that youngster in the bicycle just is riding around. There's going to be a long driveway that comes right there underneath that shade tree. Front center, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for Mr. Ramsey. I think this is his first big outing. You know, he had a little run-in with some bad luck, and it's quite a feat for him to get out today and do this. And is this your first day out in the sunshine?
Yes, it's a great day to be a Bulldog out in the sunshine today. So I'm very privileged to be here today and honored. I was just making a comment to Mrs. Dove, and I was telling her the dedication that our band kids have. Today is the last day for high school, the last day for school at Okmulgee. And at 3:15, I'm sure a bunch of their friends are probably running around and having a good time. But our band came and performed, and I believe that shows the dedication, and I think it's just a reflection of the building that is going to be built for these young men and women. So I thank them for their dedication, and I thank everybody else for coming out today. And I know we'll be naming some names here shortly, so thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today, and I'm glad to be a part of this ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rest. Here's Mr. Sean O'Brien.
I just tell you, as most of you know, that as a band director of 21 years, still helped out Mr. Helms the last couple years, but it is just great to see that, and I appreciate the community, because you don't know, I've taught in 2 or 3 other school districts, and people do not support the music and the arts and all that, so it is great to see this. And Ms. Barksdale just asked if I'm jealous. No, I'm not. I am thrilled that you guys are getting something like this. It is going to be amazing for you guys to have something like this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would not be able to be here today doing this if the folks had not come out and voted. And, you know, at Okmulgee Schools, our school board, you know, they planned this stuff out. We were talking for 2 years, 3 years down there. What about our next bond issue? What about our next bond issue? What do we need? What's got to be on there? And as much planning and, I'll say agony, that may not be the right word, scrutinizing of what to put in, what to keep out, how we can trim this. As much time and effort as our board members behind me here put in, this bond would not have passed without the assistance of the general public. And this was an all hands on deck kind of a deal. This isn't a deal where you just send a few flyers home with kids and say, hey parents, go vote tomorrow. It's not quite that simple. We had the Main Street organization pulling for us. We had members of the chamber. We had the Lions Club, the Rotary Club. We had a parents group making calls. The list goes on, but I'd like a few people to come up here now. Let's see if I can just get everybody in. From Main Street, I know Valerie Rice is here. Come on up, Valerie. From Chamber, we got Kay Rabbit, and I think Terry Dillsaver is with her. Come on up, Terry Dillsaver. Dolph Hayden, I saw you. You were one of the people that helped lead the calls. Come on up, Dolph. You don't get out of it. Anybody from Lions Club or Rotary Club or any other group? Okay, Rotarian, that's true. I remember that. So this is where I say tag you're in, and then you have to say something thoughtful and inspirational. Hit it!
Thank you. Well, today we had another event coinciding with this event for Main Street, but I just want to say on behalf of our Main Street Director, Heather Sumner, and the whole entire board, we are so very proud to see this day and see this happening for these kids. We know that the kids that are here now, those that will come in the future, greatness is going to be made right here. And this is what Bulldog Rising's all about.
You know, there are a few things that you can look at and it will tell you about the progress being made in a community, and one of those things is the school system. And I think the fact that the residents of Okmulgee got out and supported the bond issue indicates that they want to see the school system grow and they want to see Okmulgee grow. So I applaud the school system for putting this forth, and I applaud the residents for approving it. And to the band kids, I was a band kid myself, so I know how excited you are about this. Congratulations.
It's really exciting to have a new building at your school. I am on the school board in Morris, Oklahoma, and I know how exciting it is when you get to have a new place for all of this to happen. So I'm just really excited for you guys, and I know it's just going to give more excitement to Okmulgee Rising. So good luck.
I'm a Okmulgee graduate of 1979. I can't tell you, when I hear that fight song, it brings back so many memories of sports and pride and everything else. And I was just kind of sitting over my truck waiting for the thing to get started, and I heard that and that song, and it just I got out of the truck. I had to go. It was time to go. So really appreciate the pride of Okmulgee. My daughter was a drum major for the band, so I think that was just 3 or 4 years ago. Time flies, but what the band does for this community is just I can't say enough about it. And for the community to come together and decide to put this building here, it's just so prideful. So appreciate everybody being here and the opportunity to say a few words.
And again, this effort could not have happened without these community groups. And there were many of them. OEF, Ms. Hess couldn't be here today, but OEF, and again, Chamber and Rotary and Lions Club and the Toastmasters and the parent groups that did all the calling. This was truly a community effort. Outstanding. This is the part of the program where we bring up Miss Renee Dove, our next superintendent. Come on up, Miss Dove. Now, Miss Dove, you were going to share the stage here all by yourself, but Mr. Tuggle was complaining a minute ago that he didn't have an opportunity to speak yet. So let's bring up Mark Tuggle and Miss Barksdale, our other 2 board members. Come on, Miss Barksdale. You signed up for this, right? Or maybe someone talked you into it, I don't know. And I want to recognize one board member that couldn't be here today. He's working today, and that's Marcus Jeffrey. And you're standing next to me, Miss Barksdale, so that's why I have you step up here. So I'm going to hand the mic to you.
Well, I had no idea until about 2 weeks ago when I went to my first board meeting, what this band room was going to entail. And it's just state of the art. And if kids don't sign up for Okmulgee Band, they're crazy after they get this building. It's just phenomenal. And anyway, I didn't go to Okmulgee schools, but I could go way back. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, my husband, and my daughter are all graduates of Okmulgee High School. So I have a little history. Anyway, I just hope you'll go out and recruit your friends to get in the band and let them know a fabulous facility is headed their way.
I'm extremely excited for the band. I was one of the first ones to push for the new track building. I felt like the kids were very successful here at Okmulgee, needed a new building. And so when that happened, it just, you know, it touched my heart. Then it turned to the band. I basically feel the same way. The band has been one of the most successful programs here at Okmulgee High for the last decade. Numerous trophies, all types of accomplishments they've achieved. So when this came about for us to do this bond, to build this band building, I could not be more supportive of it. So I'm extremely proud of these kids. Anytime I see that showpiece wagon going down the highway, it makes me excited. So I'm just thrilled to see what it's like and look forward to more great achievements from the Okmulgee Band. Bulldog Rising.
Thank you, Mr. Tuggle. I can tell you right now how excited I am about this band building, about the moves that we're making in this district and the forward progress that we are about to see take place in our school district, all across the school district. I want you to know, band members, those of you that will be seniors next year, we talk a lot about preparing you, getting you ready for college, and getting you ready. I tell you, I have a minor in music, and when you walk into this new band building, it will feel like a piece of college has hit. Those rooms that you can go close the door and practice in, I had many an hour, 2-3 hour sessions in those private rooms on piano, on different instruments to play to get my minor in music. And you are going to be prepared for what it will feel like to walk in when you get those scholarships, and we prepare you to be college and career ready, but this is college readiness for you to practice in those rooms. You'll have the feel of it, and it will not be a shock to you when you walk in those great big band rooms on whatever college campus you choose to go to. So I strongly recommend that you take part in every piece of what is going to be here and be provided for you. Thank you, public, for passing that bond and providing this type of education for our children. It is just A+, the best that we can give. And so congratulations to each of you. I can't wait to come and watch you in each of those rooms and watch you as a band to work. Thank you for outstanding behavior on your trip and the way you conducted yourselves, like the ladies and gentlemen and Bulldogs, as you traveled to Florida and on the way home. I couldn't be more proud of each of you. Thank you.
To make this work, and we have awesome of all those that I just listed, and we appreciate it more than you know. I've been telling the students that this is a piece of Okmulgee history in the making, so why would they not want to be here to be part of this Okmulgee history? That's something I'm extremely proud of. They should be proud of as Okmulgee students, because you hear all the time about history, they learn about history, and now we're going to be part of that. So I congratulate the students on being part of that Okmulgee history. When Mr. O'Brien and I first took over the program here, we had about 55 students in the high school program. And he and I worked together in building, and now Ms. Sargent and I have continued building that excellence. And this fall we will have over 100 in the high school band. So that's something we really pride ourselves in, is the growth of our program. And you know, the amount of students who are wanting to sign up for beginning band, you know, I can usually count on my 2 hands of the students who don't want to be part of the band program. So that's something we really, really, really appreciate, our students pushing band, and not only our students, but our community. So once again, I thank everybody. I thank Ms. Sargent for always helping me, and all the support from our administration and everyone in our community. Thank you so much for all your support.
I just want to say thank you. This is my 3rd year here, and it's been a pleasure to watch these kids grow, both as young men and women and as musicians. They've worked hard for something like this, not my hope is that they will continue to keep working hard. But thank you, community, for supporting us in this and supporting the band program as we compete, as we perform for you guys and everything. It's really a great honor to be part of this band program. Thank you.
Thank you. Over the past, I don't know, Rusty, how long we've been meeting with architects and discussing? A year? Well, let's see. Bond issue passed last March. We probably started talking about this in May or June. Anyway, a moment ago, Mr. Tuggle mentioned, you know, when we did the track building, it was very important that we got Coach Pankey and Coach Rob in there, and the reason the track building looks the way it is and has certain features to it is because we got with those guys. I still remember the day Coach Pankey and Rob, they kept telling me they needed storage area, and so I had them some storeroom, and they came over to my office one day, and oh, they were mad. They said, Mr. Williams, you just don't understand. We need a room at least the size of this office, and if we don't have, you know, so anyway, the reason we have the track building the beautiful way that it is because we took those coaches that were successful and listened to them and got them what they needed. For the past year, Mr. Helms, we probably met every other month with architects, civil engineers, shoot, the electricians were there sometimes, the dirt work, and we would put things together. In fact, we had a meeting last week that Mr. Helms was not there, and it was a cost-saving measures. We're looking, well, we can cut this, we can cut that, and Carl, one of the architects, when we talked about a certain feature, I said, well, maybe we could only do half of that. He looked at me and he said, Mr. Williams, your band director isn't going to stand for that. He said, this was something he was insistent on. I said, okay, let's leave that in there. So we're all pulling to make this thing happen, but Mr. Helms has been an integral part of this planning for over a year. So thank you, Rusty. All right. Before we get into some pictures, anybody we've left out? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a couple of rounds of pictures, and then we're going to do a bunch of pictures. So we're going to have, for the first picture, I want Mr. Helms and Ms. Sargent on one end of the dirt pile here. And I want all of our board members, and Ms. Dove, and Mr. Ramsey, and Mr. O'Brien. So the administration and the band directors come up and get in this picture. Get your hard hats on, get your shovel in hand, come on up here, and get posing for a picture. And when we're finished with that, I want all the folks that I called up a minute ago that are representing the chamber and the Main Street Rotary, all those are going to get in there. And then after that, anybody that wants to get in here and take a picture, oh, we need to get the band as a whole group in here. We don't have enough shovels for everybody. We need to get a few of those band kids in here taking some pictures. Wear your instrument in front of you and get that shovel. We'll get to that in a minute. And then at the end, anybody that wants to come in and get a shovel and turn some dirt, we'll do it. So right now, let's get the band directors, one on each end, and all the administration and board standing behind them. We'll get a few pictures taken. You got to have you get to choose red or white. Okay. Everybody good on that? Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's stay and let's get we have 10 shovels. That was longer than I expected. Yeah.